Okay, it is Monday evening and I am consistently a day behind schedule. Guess we're getting near the end of the semester. And I've said almost everything I want to say over on my blog, which I haven't updated in a long time. So I hope you'll come here and take a look. But I just wanted to give you a really quick overview of Stolley's article that I asked you to read. I'm going to be realistic and recognize that it's pretty dense and some of you might not get to it, but there are 3 key points that I've tried to highlight in the blog. And I do hope that those of you who are interested in what an academic study of social media and social media applications might look like will definitely come and check it out. I think it's an interesting piece, it's dense, but I hope you get something from it. If you just want to go with my notes on it though, the 3 key things are right here. Number 1 being that Stolley talks about the role of the technical communicator as being one of designer and trainer, and I think that's incredibly true for what we're trying to do right now. And so I just wanted to use his article to reinforce and let you know that what you're learning here is not just, or what you're working on is not just something appropriate for this course, but really is appropriate for any of you who are thinking about being technical writers or see yourself falling into a technical writing position at some point in time. Couple quick and easy illustrations. Obviously, the Wellspring group has been working on redoing their website, and I've had some success so far already. Probably want to take that a little bit further in terms of visuals, but they're definitely working as designers for that. They're also working as trainers for the Twitter feed, which I don't have up right now, but I think the Charism group, by using their Twitter feed, we can also talk about them being designers and trainers here. You can see they've pulled on the really great photos that their organization has to work with. And I really love what at least is showing up for me here as the second tweet coming from them is, "We're new to Twitter, any advice?" And then they identify a number of Fargo tweeters who they had already started following. And so that seems to me like a really good example of starting a conversation and hopefully training the staff at Charism to engage in a conversation. One strategy, certainly not the only strategy for doing that, but off to, as the last one says, a great start. 14 followers in just one day and quite a bit of conversation. Really nice job there, team. So there's a quick overview of designers and trainers. Second thing that the article does, I think, really effectively, and you'd need to stick with the article to see this, is that it talks about organizations having activities. They call them activities, but goals, big picture stuff, and that those goals are fulfilled not just by focusing on that goal, but by breaking it down into what they call actions and then operations. And the actions that you're taking are the social media components, introducing them to Twitter, introducing them to other social media strategies on Facebook, or on just by redesigning their website and getting regular with that. But then, so that's the action part of things, but actions need to become, Stolley says, operations, and operations fit into a workflow. And so that's where it's going to be a really big challenge for a lot of organizations, is to go, they're already not doing it, which suggests that it certainly is at the action level. It's not an operation yet, and somehow they need to get to that operation level for them to be successful with their social media. But let me back up a little bit. I've been talking to the group that's working with Cat's Cradle, and this is actually the Corky Facebook page. And so Cat's Cradle has a Facebook page. Corky, the cat who you might have been reading about, has a Facebook page. They are not having a problem connecting to people. You can see they're up to over 1,000 likes already, which is a really tremendous number, especially, it seems to me, in Fargo groups. I haven't seen many Fargo organizations able to crack that 1,000 very easily. So that's not a problem for them. Their problem is perhaps even at the largest level, at the activity level. I'm not sure, other than sharing this information, if they figured out what they want to do with social media yet, what their goal is. I talked to the group about using their popularity to generate volunteers to help them with the social media once this class is over, and the team can hand over some of the tools to them. So that might be their challenge, is actually not at the operation level, even at the activity level, or make sure, well, now I've got those mixed up, at the maybe not at the operation level, they're getting the posts out there, maybe not even at the action level. They seem to know roughly what to do, but at the activity level, the goal level, they need to figure out, now that they've got this kind of following, what it is that they want to do other than what they're already doing. And maybe they'll be satisfied with that and that they're accomplishing all they want to, but it's, boy, if I were them, I'd be excited to have this many followers that quickly and to get things like 87 likes on a picture of Corky. Pretty impressive relative to a lot of the organizations in Fargo. So I hope that those categories can be useful to you as you work with your organization. Keep thinking about, have we got a clear enough activity in mind, the big picture? Are we breaking it down into small enough action steps? And then this circles back to the trainer part of it. How can we make those actions something that fit into their workflow, that they just become operations? Every day they do a status update, or once a week they do a blog. And I know a lot of you had that kind of stuff built into your plan, so I think again, this article is just reinforcing some of the things that we're trying to do and helps clarify so that you can go on to your next project or into your first job and be able to share this framework with that new organization. And then the last thing I've got here is that a lot of how you have commented on how the groups you're working with see social media as still a pretty foreign country, that it's a fairly intimidating activity. And I think one of the points that Stolley makes, and I note here our other articles and books have made, is also that it's got to be an action or a contact sport, that you've got to encourage, and then to a certain extent this goes back to the training, you've got to encourage your organizations just to get in and try it out, and that they can do it personally if that's more comfortable for them. I think a lot of organizations, and we've seen this, the book talks about this, they're nervous about how they might represent themselves online. Stolley makes the point that the difference between a personal application of social media and a workplace or an organizational use is not all that different, and certainly the tools are the same, and some of the strategies might be the same. So you might want to just talk to your organizations about personal use, encouraging them to use Facebook and Twitter themselves for their friends and family and get comfortable with it that way, and then bring that comfort level into the organization. The article ends with what I call the trip down the rabbit hole of code. If you can stick through it and see where Stolley's going in terms of suggesting that technical communicators can also be using some low-level knowledge of coding and how to work with websites in a way that would allow you to integrate a number of tools. I'm just going to end with a question about whether that's something that interests you. I know some of you out there have some of that kind of background already, but I think most of you don't. Is that something that you wish you were getting out of this class? Is that something that you think I should be integrating into a future version of this class? Personally, he goes over my head. I'll acknowledge that in terms of where my current ability is to do the sorts of things that he's talking about, pulling together RSS feeds into a single website and doing it pretty effectively. So I would need to learn something, but that's something that I've been interested in and wanting to do, and so next time I teach this class, I might be at the point where I could support that. Do you think it's something that future students of this class might be interested in? Stolley makes the argument that technical communicators shouldn't shy away from that level of technical expertise, and so I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on that. You can certainly give me a video response, or you can just good old-fashioned textual response here on my personal blog. I really do hope I've kept this one to a reasonable amount of time. I think groups have got their plans and they're ready to execute them over the next 3 weeks, and I'm looking forward to watching that. So I am not going to provide any significant meta commentary on the class. I just hope that this overview of Stolley's article is useful to you in thinking about what you have already done and what you're doing over the next 3 weeks. Have a good week out there. Looking forward to seeing your work.